Recording in progress.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Asyura Putrutami as moderator in the debate. This time we lead the course of the debate from beginning to end. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this afternoon's debate, which raises a very important and relevant topic, namely humanitarian crisis, Israel and Palestine conflict through the product boycott. Will it benefit or harm? This topic not only touches on economic aspect, but also the moral and humanitarian ones. We hope these discussions will provide a broader and deeper insight into the impact of product boycotts in the context of this long-standing conflict. We invite you all to listen carefully, think critically, and remain respectful of different views. Let's begin by introducing the themes that we'll be debating. Okay. On the pro side, we have a team that will argue that product boycotts are an effective and beneficial step in putting pressure on the parties involved in the Israel and Palestinian conflict. They believe that boycotts can be a powerful tool to drive positive change and stop human rights violations. The pro team consists of Asyura Putrutami and Wasik Latifah Anasya. Okay, on the con side, we have a team that will argue that boycotting products can actually harm and worse the situations. They argue that boycotts can cause extensive economic harm and do not always achieve the desired goal. The counter team consists of Mawar Kirana and Devi Hermawati. Okay. Either the first argument will be presented by the pro team and will be continued by the counter team, and after that, the refutation of each team. Okay. For the first argument, I will go with economic pressure to drive change on pro team side. I believe that boycotting products related to the Israel-Palestine conflict will be beneficial, particularly in facing injustice and putting pressure on the supporting operation. Product boycotts have historically been effective tools in reducing financial support to regimes that violate human rights. A successful example is the boycott against apartheid in South Africa, which demonstrate how global movements could force political change. In the context of the Israel-Palestine conflict, boycotts can create international pressure, limit resources, and ultimately weaken the economy that supports the illegal occupation of Palestinian territories. This is a tangible step that the global community can take to express solidarity and push for an end to the violence. Thank you.
I reject the argument that projects boycott will have a positive impact. Elitist boycott tend to harm innocuous civilians more than the governments or institutions involved in the conflict. Many of the products targeted by boycotts are produced by ordinary workers who might not even support their government's policies. Furthermore, in a global economic, a boycott against certain companies can disrupt global supply, resulting in broader economic losses. In the addition to harming the economy, boycott can worsen international relations and make the process of diplomacy and peaceful negotiation harder to achieve.
Pressure on those who contribute to human rights. While it's true that civilians might be affected, this is part of a larger strategy to pressure governments to take more just and human actions. Additionally, boycotts provide the international community with a non-violent tool to oppose war crimes and oppression. Instead of triggering armed conflict or violence, boycotts bring about change through peaceful action. History has shown that consistently applied and coordinated boycotts can successfully force policy shifts, as seen in South Africa.
Okay. In the response to ASID, the argument that boycotts are peaceful action doesn't change the fact that they tend to have long-term negative impacts, particularly on the local and global economy. Even in the case of apartheid in South Africa, the economic consequences were felt by the general population, not just the government. In the Israel-Palestine situation, a boycott could escalate tensions between the two sides and make dialogue even harder to achieve. Moreover, boycotting products related to Israel or Palestine could deepen international polarization and isolate communities that need support. No punishment, more constructive solutions should come through diplomacy and international cooperation, not through measures that worsen the economy of the lives of ordinary people.
Okay, now the rebuttal time. I'll go first with the pro team. Devi and Mauer are correct that boycotts can have economic impacts on ordinary people. However, I want to stress that every struggle against oppressions comes at a cost. A boycott is not a perfect solution, but when international diplomacy fails or stalls, a boycott is an effective way to firm stand against operations. If we hesitate to take economic action because of concerns of over harming a small number of workers, we allow operations to continue without meaningful resistance. The long-term benefits of ending the conflict far outweigh the short-term economic losses. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Yura. You failed to boycott often don't affect the governments or institution you're trying to preserve. They often have the resources to endorse. Will those who suffer the most are workers and small business owners. Additionally, boycott don't always second in change government policies, especially if those governments believe their political interests outweighing the economic damage felt by their people. In diplomacy and coordinate sense are far more effective in addressing crises like this than unilateral boycott, which only worsen conditions for ordinary people.
In response to Davis' argument, we cannot wait for governments and international institutions to act, especially when they are slow to move. Boycotts are one way for civil society across the globe to play an active role. The effects of a boycott may not be immediate, but as history shows, major changes often take time. So it is important to realize that boycotts are part of a collective struggle, and they apply strong moral and economic pressure on regimes involved in oppression.
Okay, Wasik, I understand you got intention, but we must be realistic in our approach. Boycotts not only risk harming civilians, but can also backfire by benefiting those being boycott. They may use the boycott to build a victim narrative, strengthen domestic support, and blame the international community for their suffering. Moreover, sustainable solution must come from diplomacy and international collaboration, which can balance the interests of both sides without worsening the suffering of ordinary people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe that's all from Group 4, with motion will product in response to the humanitarian crisis, Israel-Palestine conflict, be beneficial or harmful. Maybe I will read the final conclusion. While boycotts can be an effective tool to affect change in the short term, their long-term impact should be carefully considered. Boycotts may promote global awareness and solidarity, but at the same time, they can exacerbate the suffering of innocent workers and exacerbate economic tensions. Diplomatic solutions and long-term negotiations remain key elements to resolve this conflict peacefully and sustainably. Okay, thank you.